Hello, my name is Kiko, and this is my brother Holton. Happy Halloween, you medieval muttonheads. We shall be surviving here in the dark forest, a lush, vibrant place of much vegetation and mystical creatures, and also some horrid creatures. For you see, the world has been overtaken by undead, and today we attempt to survive the medieval zombie apocalypse as best we can. Even if we die trying, we probably will. Alright, Holton, let's get to work. First things first, we're gonna start ripping down some of these ancient ruins and structures in the forest from some lost civilization. That way we can repurpose those resources for making ourselves a defendable position in between the mountains here. Our own little kingdom as the world completely goes to shit. As if it hasn't already, I guess. But as night began to fall on the forest, I began throwing together a nice campfire to keep us warm all night long and to hopefully ward off any predators. This will also give us visibility so no corpses sneak up on us. I must admit I was a bit anxious, so I kept watch over my brother as he slept for a few hours. But eventually I got all tuckered out and would have to sleep myself. The warm, glowing hue of the campfire's flames keeping us nice and cozy all night long. It's the little things that count in times like these. The zombies are going to be coming at us fast and hard, so we immediately need to start working on some proper defenses, such as iron walls and also granite walls, because we very quickly also ran out of iron ingots. That's quite alright, as we planned on using granite for our slab doors anyhow. Slow to open and slow to close, but also damn near impenetrable. As the second night was coming to a close, we already had 16 zombies wandering around in the forest, which, as you could probably guess, was already making travel a little bit more hostile than normal, and needless to say, complicated as well. I would attempt to avoid them as best I could, heading a bit to the northwest, going around the valley here in the mountains back to our camp. But as I was heading back that way, I noticed that a small pack of zombies had already picked up my scent, and they were following me home. I hope you've been sharpening your sword, brother. So we have the tiny horde that are coming for us. One of them, what's happening here? One of them has fallen for some reason, but we have two of them. We don't have any ranged weapons, so we have to engage them in melee combat. Let's hope that our plate armor will actually protect us from their grimy little paws, though. Alright, we need to get Holton a shield as well. There we go. So the first one is down. Second one is coming. Kiko can actually attack from the front since he has a shield, and Holton can come from the side to try to flank. This way, and here we go. Oh, well, you're just going back to the same point. All right. Uh-oh. We have another one. Bit of a 2v2 situation here. I definitely think that Holton would do a lot better with a sharp weapon instead of a blunt object. Kiko has finally taken some damage, and there we go. We have finished off the horde. Immediately, we need to start double tapping them. Or not double tapping them, we're going to extract the serum from them, and then we need to check and make sure nobody got bitten. We did get hurt, but it doesn't look like we got bit. Yeah, so we have a bunch of bruises, and we do have a bite, but of course, so we have plate armor, so it didn't actually puncture, and it's more of just a bruise from the bite, of course. So we are completely fine. The perks of having plate armor, although that's not always going to be the case, takes a good beating. I mean our armor, of course. Our armor takes a good beating. It must be said as well that not only do we just have full plate armor, but we also have plate gloves and plate boots, things like that too. And obviously this is going to protect our fingers and toes and feet and hands, which can most commonly be bit when you're in melee combat with zombies. I know that might seem a little overpowered, but we already have 32 zombies that have appeared on the map. And there's only 2 of us, so I don't know, seems fair to me. Now that that little predicament's taken care of, we immediately started building the wall in our northern section of the valley here, which is also our final wall to complete. Unfortunately, though, as we were doing this, we had a visitor coming in who was being chased by a zombie. As she attempted to fend it off, I snuck up from behind and downed it. We started bashing its brains in, eventually killing it and ripping its head off for some extract. Not to worry, madam, you're safe and sound. Although I suppose we do need to see if you're going to be infected now. Either way, though, we would put the finishing touches on that wall, and we have our own little piece of sanctuary here, away from the riling dead flesh outside our walls. Now the only thing we need to do is ensure that they stay outside of our walls. So far, though, the hordes of them are quite small. It'll take quite a few before they can actually tip themselves over the tops. So we should be safe for now. Meaning, of course, that we can rest safe and sound in the meantime. We built a nice little canopy to keep the rain off of ourselves as we did so. It ain't much, but it's something. Unfortunately for Solace, our guest, it would seem that she was about to become infected by the zombie virus. Sorry, lady, but I don't think we can allow you to go back out into the world like that. We started throwing together something of a makeshift prison cell for her. It seems she saw what we were doing, though, and was attempting to leave. Whoa, not so fast, little lady. 1, you could end up infecting other people, and that wouldn't be any good. 2, you could open our doors and accidentally let more of him inside, so I think you're safe right here. Lucky for you, we knew just how to chop off an arm. You are so lucky. Now, this really upset House Amboys, but I gotta level with you, I don't really care. The world is going to shit, there's a zombie apocalypse, and they can get mad if they want to. And since our now permanent guest had brought a lot of things to trade originally, Holton now has his own sword. Much better for chopping down zombies, and also a sling. Not exactly the most effective ranged weapon, but a ranged weapon nonetheless. Another thing that, well, we already had, but we found a better one of on our friend Solace, was a helmet with a faceplate to protect our face from, you guessed it, zombies. Now, even though she is infected, we still had quite a bit of time before she actually turned. So, in the meantime, we're going to start working around our little sanctuary here to ensure we have plenty of room to store things, as you're seeing here with us mining out this section of the hill. As we were moving these stone chunks, though, there was a great big forest fire at our door. It would seem some lightning has struck a tree or something, and now a lot of the zombies are burning down, which was great. But also we had to come to extinguish the fire on our walls, which was not so great. At our northmost wall, the horde of zombies was growing quite large, so much in fact that they were constantly bashing it and we were having to repair it all the time throughout the day. At this point, it might be good for us to start clearing them out a bit before they get too big and they start coming over on us. You know, I was considering trying to go out there to kill them, but the problem is, I don't think our sling is all that accurate, and even if it was, it's a sling. It's not a crossbow or anything. And there's 6 of them, one of them being the... I forget what this one is exactly, but I know he kind of electrifies or gives the other one some type of boost, like that right there. So... going out there with swords is such a terrible idea. Even if, because Kiko has 2 of them, which I'm actually going to make him drop one, and I want Holton to offhand the other. It looks a little bit silly, but he is technically, as you can see, dual-wielding the arming sword, so he should have 2 of them, even though for some reason we can't see it. Probably a mod setting I need to fix. But Kiko, of course, has a mace, and he also has a sword. Just, the thing is, getting in close to the zombies like that would probably end up getting us killed, but I do have an alternative option. Rock boxes. These will allow us to dump rocks on top of the heads of the zombies. Isn't that a good idea? I think we can do a couple of them at least. That's probably going to be the best way to go about doing this. We still need to be very careful, though, when we do them, because the thing is that we can accidentally destroy our wall or very much damage it, which we don't want to happen. I think we're going to go ahead and we're going to create a marble one, and we're also going to create a bone one, and we'll try to get those finished. Holy... they hear us. I know that's got to be loud. I'll back up a bit. They can hear us building, so they're just beating the shit out of the wall, which is... Oh, man. It is okay, though, for the most part, as I'm less worried about them destroying it and them coming over it. This is going to take forever, though, so I'll be right back once that's finished. Alright, so that took an absolutely ungodly amount of time. So much, in fact, that there are more zombies, and the second one is still under construction. I'm going to activate it. I want it to be about right there, because I think if we do it too close, it's going to damage the wall. Even that might damage the wall. Let's try right there. Here we go. Yeah, it mostly is hitting up in this area. Now there's a bit of a cooldown where we have to wait for 4 hours. But we should... Oh, yeah. Well, we'll rearm it with Holton. We have a lot of zombies. Worst comes to worst, we might just build a second wall and start falling back away from them. But I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I'm going to continue the process for a few hours of letting this cool down and trying to drop rocks on top of their heads. All right, second time's the charm. I am allowing this one to hit the wall a little bit. Fingers crossed it doesn't destroy the wall. Oh, man. We're not even hitting the damn zombies. Son of a bitch. All right, third time's the charm. I'm allowing it. Yeah. Oh, no. That's really bad. We almost lost the wall. However, look at this. We did manage to kill one of them. Oh, we did injure Holton a little bit, though. Look, yeah, he's shredded from the rock box. We did manage to kill one of them, though, which is a good sign, I'll say. It's not exactly great, but it's a good sign. Okay, so as I was waiting on them to cool down so we could drop more rocks on their heads, we actually have a group of brigands coming from nearby. We have a guy named Sven. Basically, he's going to be eaten alive by the zombies. Not much point in really showing this, I don't think, but I thought it might be fun to see him die. He's going straight to try to kill them. You would think he would try to avoid them and come straight for us, but okay. Oh, wow, he managed to kill one of them pretty easily. Okay, now he's getting double teamed, though. And that's about what we thought would happen. If I were clever, I'd come up with some kind of rhyme like, Sven was fast, Sven was quick, Sven is now getting treated like meat on a stick. Not too shabby. He's back on his feet. Oh, and now he's not. Well, that was the story of our first raid. I wish that were the biggest issue that we were facing, I must say. All right, third time, or fourth time's the charm. I don't know what we're at this point. Ooh, alright, so we killed the main one here, the electrifying one. Yeah, they're pretty upset about that. We didn't do that much damage to the wall, and we managed to kill the main one. That's pretty good. Alright, one more time. There we go. Now we don't have near as many up here. That was pretty cash money, I must say. We'll try to finish off these remaining few, and then we need to move on. We desperately need to move on. I need a damn garden going down here. We need to start growing crops. We need to start harvesting some of these berries. We also have Solace, who needs to be recruited, but also needs to have her arm hacked off because she has an infection. So that's something. We threw another volley of rocks on top of their heads, which basically just injured them. And then we did it again, which killed a couple of them, but ended up opening our walls up. I'm surprised this didn't happen sooner, to be honest. Regardless, though, we would rush out and start killing off the injured infected, which thankfully wasn't all that hard, as they had a lot of rock shrapnel stuck in their bodies, so a good old thrust or two from our mighty swords and they were down for the count. And with the infected defeated, we immediately repaired our wall, not only by actually repairing many of the bricks that were already there, but by using some limestone that we had in storage to patch it back up. Not near as strong as granite, unfortunately, but better than that hole that was there a few seconds ago, I'd say. Speaking of storage, though, we immediately started taking the time to organize things and to get them out of our way. That way they're no longer deteriorating out in the rain, and also that way they're not in our little makeshift prison cell, which we're also getting ready and prepping for a surgery. if you can call it that. Okay, so we're about to perform surgery on Solace. She has the wooden log bed, which has a 100% success rate for surgeries, just like the normal bed. The flooring, just slightly cleaner than being nothing but the marble pew or whatever. I really hope this goes well. As long as she doesn't die, that is the main thing to me. I don't care, you know, if we fail, as long as that arm is gone and she doesn't die. And there we go. Perfect. Holton, I think, has a medical of 7 or 8, so that's not too bad, but using herbal medicine like this, or organic medicine, whatever kind that is, I think it's fly agaric. I'm surprised that that went as smooth as it did, but thank God that it did. And now she has no right arm, but she's not going to be infected by zombies. She's still resisting us by quite a bit, 11 resistance, but it won't be too long before she ends up joining us. Looks like we have more zombies that we'll have to take care of. Perhaps we build some more rock boxes. I think that'd be a great investment all around for each side of the of our little sanctuary that we've built here. We still have a lot to do though on the inside, so I don't know. We'll see. We'll need to prioritize, of course. The types of priorities that I'm talking about though are going to require plenty of logs as well as wooden planks, and so that's why we're deforesting our little sanctuary here. That way we have plenty of resources to work with. However, before we even have a chance to go about sawing these logs into planks, we're actually immediately going to be building ourselves a proper shelter. I don't exactly know what you'd call this, but I think some type of medieval hut is probably an appropriate term. There's enough room here for 4 bedrooms. It's not all that large, but it's better than sleeping out underneath a little canopy thing like we were. Not only is it much more comfortable because it actually traps the temperature of our torches, keeping us warm all night long, keeps the breeze and the rain off our backs, but also zombies and predators as well, since we're actually enclosed in this structure. Next up, something of a makeshift workshop so that we can actually go about sawing these planks with some trestles. This is, again, just kind of a little canopy underneath our storage area. Not ideal because of the bad temperature, of course, but, you know, it's functional, right? That's the most important part, is that it works. Not everyone, especially us, given the circumstances, can afford the luxury of building a proper workshop for every little thing. We have much more pressing issues, like the fact that we're all going to start starving in a few weeks if we don't start planting our own food. So we tilled up some land to make ourselves a teeny little rice garden next to our storage area, next to the mountain that we dug for the storage area, I should say. It's not a lot, but it'll help supplement our diet of berries and rat meat. We would also periodically be getting plenty of undead at our wall, beating and knocking and having to dump a lot of boulders on top of their heads in the hopes that we would kill them. Don't worry, I'm not going to bore you to death by showing you all the 5 or 6 times we had to do this again. Just know I had to do it. Next up was going to be a dining hall, somewhere we could actually eat at a proper table. This far, we've been not eating at a table, and if you've played RimWorld or watched people play RimWorld, you know that that's never good, because everyone gets very pissed off about that. We also extended our canopy so that we can go about cooking meals at our campfire, of course. It ain't much, but it's honest work, and being able to eat like this inside and at a proper table is going to keep us from having those pesky mental breaks, which are crucial, because if we have a mental break and we wander outside our walls during our days, we're dead. I had neglected to mention thus far because, well, to be honest with you, it's not all that important, or at least I don't think it is, but we had a flooding rain that came into the area as we were doing all this construction, but it didn't drown us, nor did it drown any zombies, so I reiterate, not important. The only thing worth mentioning that this flooding rain did was give our rice plenty of moisture to use to grow, and as you can see, it is our very first harvest of the field. This shall not feed us throughout winter, but it shall feed us for quite a while. It was around this time that we finally managed to get Solace to join us. I suppose it may have taken so long, hear me out, because we kinda kidnapped her and cut her arm off. To save her life, don't get it twisted. We only done it because of that infection, and we didn't need her getting more people infected, or worst of all, maybe even us. But either way, she's joined us. Glad we could resolve that little issue. Speaking of issues, let us resolve another. Now that we have plenty of wood to work with for our little construction projects, we're going to be building that secondary barrier wall that we've been talking about for a while. These spiked log walls actually have embrasures in them as well. That way, if we need to retreat behind them because of infected, we can shoot at them. I ended up putting one of these secondary wall barriers on each of our entrances. I will say the southern wall, thus far, really hasn't had any issues with corpses. It's always the one here on the east or the one here at the north. Nevertheless, though, I wanted to expend the resources on every one because you never know when they might attack from any direction. Next up on the to-do list was for us to go about building some dirt path roads around here. It's going to be quite important seeing how vegetation in the dark forest can become quite dense. And we want to ensure if anything happens, or even just day-to-day life and operations, that we have a nice and clear path so that we can move appropriately and quickly. And just for good measure, you may also notice that we actually put down some nice mahogany flooring inside our dining hall and inside our little medieval hut. My. Now this wasn't exactly for ease of access and maneuvering, but more just to keep our spirits high. And it also makes the place feel pretty cozy, I think. I like it, but let's not lose track here. There is a zombie apocalypse going on outside of our walls. Let's maybe start making ourselves some appropriate weapons, such as some short bows. We would make any other type of bow realistically if we could, but this is all we currently have access to. Even so, they may not be the best bows, but they're better than the sling that Holton has been using, and also better than no ranged weapons at all for everyone else. Uh-oh. Well, it looks like at least we'll be able to put them to good use. What the f*** is a spitter? I genuinely have never seen one of these before. Well, by the looks of it, it's a giant, fleshy mass zombie thing that spits out other zombies. Oh, man. Okay, so I'm gonna come around the side here and hopefully be able to kill this one. Yeah, I thought that might happen. It's going to continue spitting more at us, though. That's the problem. Using our short bows, maybe... Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Not good. Using our short bows, we might have a chance, though, of killing them. I'm going to try to gather up in a group. Oh my god, right on top of us. Not good. Keep moving. We've yet to be infected. Oh my god, it just keeps spitting them. Oh, our poor, well, it's not our rat, but a poor rat. We were going to eat that. Oh man. This is so bad. There's so many of them now. This is really bad. Oh, no, move. Most of us have a dog shit shooting skill, which makes this entire situation worse, obviously. Go in there, Solace. I don't even know what to do at this point. We could go in here. Oh, no. Oh. Solace almost got caught by a zombie. We can go in here. Can we hit them with this? No. Let's see if we can attract them over this way, especially that spitter. They're going to end up breaking that. Let's repair the door before it breaks in, although I don't know if it's going to be enough. It's definitely not now. We have two of them. Oh my god, this is bad, because we need to get back inside so that we can rescue Solace. We're going to try to come to the rescue of Solace, but we're going to have to kill this zombie first. This is about to fall, which isn't good. The door has been broken, and they are coming for us. I wonder if we can go this way? Okay. Maybe don't fire at will, and let's see if we can run outside away. Okay. Perfect. Oh, we actually killed this one. That's nice. Let's kill some more. I think melee is the way to go here. Unfortunately, I don't want to get in close, but it looks like that's going to be what we have to do. Let's close our helms, too. We don't want to get struck in the face by them. If we manage to kill these, we might have a chance of taking out that spitter. It hasn't spit any yet. Anymore, I should say, yet. Thank God for swords, otherwise we wouldn't be able to kill them near as easily. It does look like one of us, oh, Holton has been bit on the left arm. 50-50 shot of that infecting him. We can always cut his arm off, of course, if we really need to. Oh my word. Here we go. Finish it off. There. So we have killed all the ones that are inside the base. The spitter is moving away. And the horde seems to be following it. So I think we're just going to go about our merry little day here. We have so many zombies, though, that have been killed. And the problem is the spitter might come back this way again. I guess what I'm trying to get at is apparently it spits a lot of them very quickly, which is an issue. We should really try to invest in researching mortars, maybe, or building a cannon. A cannon would definitely help. The problem with all that is these things require steel, which we don't have any more of. These walls up here are made of steel, but look where we would have to go to get it. I don't know. I am curious because, of course, these formations tend to be things like golems. If we were to awaken one, I wonder if it would kill the zombies for us. Probably not. That might be worth trying, though. Oddly enough, some odd hours later, the spitter would actually end up leaving this region, leaving behind its horde of feral zombies. But on the bright side, we don't have to worry about it chalking more of them over our walls, so that's a plus. That's the good news. In bad news, though, it would seem that Holton does indeed have a zombie infection in his left arm. The good news again is we should be able to hack it off whenever we're ready. Truth be told, I'm just very glad that we had survived that little spitter event, as I thought for sure we were cooked, chat, as the young kids say. Anyhow, though, we need some contingency defenses, like maybe a cannon or more rock boxes, and as I mentioned a moment ago, we're going to need some steel. Our northern wall didn't have near as many zombies, so we started chalking rocks on top of their heads and shooting them with our bows until we were clear to head up this way, and we got to the ruins here that were made of steel and started deconstructing them. It wasn't much, but it would be just enough for us to build one cannon, or 2 rock boxes. To the surprise of some, I actually ended up building a couple more rock boxes down at our southeastern wall. The reason for this, instead of a cannon, is because the cannon can't fire over walls, and I think if we're open to zombies, even if we have a cannon, we're going to get infected more than likely, so the rock boxes felt like the safer option. Ironically, I think I completely disproved myself, though, on our first use of them, when we accidentally tore down this wall and the zombies started coming through. Oopsie daisy. Well, it's a good thing we had the foresight to build a secondary wall with embrasures built in so that we could kill them, finish them off with our short bows, and reclaim our territory. This also gave me the idea to start building some castle wall embrasures in our primary wall, which I don't know why I didn't do this in the very beginning. I suppose we were in a bit of a rush to just build something between us and the zombies. We ended up putting these in on all of our primary walls, and I must say that this made it much easier to kill the infected just on the outside with our short bows. Perhaps a little bit too easy. To counteract just how convenient these new defenses were, I thought maybe we should up the threat scale a bit from, I don't know, maybe 100 to say, 500, as high as it'll go. What's the worst that could happen? A lot. As it turns out, we very quickly went from, I think, about 92 zombies, 97, something like that, to 300 in the span of about maybe a day or so. First, they killed and ate every single bit of wildlife in the area, which apparently is one of the only things that kept them from constantly hunting us. From a bird's eye view, they look like 2 or 3 armies of ants moving and bumbling and fumbling at the canopy floor. And then they started eating away at our walls and at the mountain, trying to get inside. Obviously, of course, we started dumping loads of rocks on top of their heads, and for many hours throughout the night we would fire our bows at them, trying to kill them. I may have really overdone it with trying to compensate for us having these embrasures, but there was no going back now. Unfortunately, as we were attempting to clear them out to the southeast, we ended up having them break through at our northern wall. This was a little too close for comfort, so we immediately left the southeastern wall to come up here to hopefully clear them out, thin them out at the very least, so we could return and do the same. You understand, I'm sure. A little bit at a time, that sort of thing, and eventually, with a lot of luck and a lot of work, hopefully we wouldn't have any more around our walls. But at the other wall, the one that we normally don't have to worry about defending, we had another spitter. And its own horde raging. Things kept getting worse from there as they eventually broke through and were coming right for us. We didn't have much time to think, so we retreated straight into the old prison cell, which looks more like a tomb from here. Well, my friends, it's been a pleasure serving with you, but I think that this might just be the end. We've had many a good battle together, brother, and this shall be our last. Let's make it count. The horde is completely raging. There's little to no chance we'll be able to actually keep them out of here and keep them away from us. Oh my god. They're eventually going to break through the other walls. They're all coming through here, though. Oh my god, the entire army of them is coming through here. Some are going back this way, I think, but how are we looking? Not too great. Oh god, no, the spitter. I see now, the spitter. Oh shit, this is really bad. Really, really bad. Oh god, it threw them right inside. Oh my. On the bright side, Holton, we don't have to worry about cutting your arm off anymore because, well, we are completely surrounded. Oh man. Oh god, this is absolutely awful. Little to no chance of us surviving this. Oh my god. Just everywhere. They're absolutely everywhere. They are forming up around the spitter, though, which is drawing them away from us here. We're going to die, but if we do, at least we can go out on our own terms. Let's go out and face them. Absolutely face them. Kiko shall take the lead, fighting them. I think we've done pretty good for a set of medieval mutton heads, a trio of medieval mutton heads. And I'm proud that we've made it this far. Even if we die here against this army, I'm proud of what we've accomplished so far. I'm trying to get Holton and Solace here to give us a bit of assistance fire. Oh my god. The rage and just everything that's going on here is insane. Can we even get out here to assist? I don't even know if we can. I'm actually going to start deconstructing these walls just because... Well, I guess we... Oh, what happened? Oh no, I think we crashed. So I came back to the autosave here, and Holton is the only one alive, and he is also just completely surrounded. Like a true hero going out in a last stand. But of course, my friends, I do want to thank you ever so much for watching this video. You guys are absolutely amazing. It's extremely loud. Let's back up here. Thank you guys ever so much for watching. Happy Halloween to you. I hope that this video has brought you some joy, some happiness, and also some Halloween fun. I apologize it wasn't longer. Perhaps I should have waited before cranking this all the way up. But I've had a lot of fun with this little Halloween video here. I hope you have as well, of course. I do want to say I might be taking a little break this weekend or something. I'm feeling a little bit sick, and my voice, I don't know if you can tell, is starting to get a tiny bit raspy, and I don't want to overdo it to the point that, like, I have to take, like, a week off because my voice sounds like gargled gravel. So I hope that's cool with you guys. I love you guys ever so much, so happy Halloween once again, and I will see you next time.